Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the GSL Team League. I am Moltrap. With me here is Kaldor today, and we are seeing ZeNEX get dismantled piece by piece, player by player. Everyone ZeNEX throws at Lucky has been thrown back at them. I don't know if ZeNEX has anything that they can do to stop this unstoppable force of Lucky, but we're going to find out if Avenge can do it right now.
So far it's been a slaughter. Lucky, not even one of the games was close, to be honest. So Lucky is just in a very, very good shape right now. And we have Avenge up against him in the next game, which is going to take place on Metropolis. And let's see if Avenge is up to the task, if he can defeat Lucky and prevent the all-kill.
Look at this. Lucky, 100% win rate in the Team League. We have not seen Avenge on this map. So we're going to find out what he's made of here. Avenge, like I said, got a kill last week. Can he get another one today and stop Lucky's reign of terror? We're going to find out in just a second. All right, over here at the left, we have a guy who has gotten 3 wins for his teams thus far, and it is all because of his skill. He is not just...
FXO Lucky!
He has been on a higher level than everyone that ZeNEX has thrown at him, definitely. Sorry, Sir Scoots, can't talk right now. I'm at GSTL. FXO Boss here in the studio today. Not being... anyway, here's his opponent up here at the right. And he managed to...
ZeNEX! Avenge!
His teammates...
Well, we'll certainly find out very, very soon. We have cross position on Metropolis, and we can expect there's the Forge first. This is exactly what we were waiting for. As I already mentioned when we were talking about the match between games, it's a very easy second base for Protoss. There's only a small gap, and it's actually kind of nice that they have rocks included into the whole...
Came from Brazil to watch Leonok. He doesn't get to watch Leonok today, though, because Lucky is killing everyone. That's funny. That's too bad.
Yeah, he's kind of right about it.
We talked to him at the break. He's a cool guy, by the way. As well as the guy from Denmark.
Yeah, it's actually
so
really nice.
Cool to have people from all over the world come here to the studio and say hi to us when we're casting. It's really, really neat to meet everyone.
Lucky is taking the early third, and now he has to be careful. If ZeNEX Avenge... Oh, did he show? He did not show the probe yet, but he could try to cannon the third. That would actually work.
Yeah. Technically, it's his second base. He just took it at the third location because he didn't want to wait to kill that pylon to get his hatchery down. So he's going to end up killing that pylon and then put his third hatchery at his expansion nearest to his main base, what we call the natural expansion. Since it's the most natural to take.
We have the Nexus now for Avenge, and he's starting with his wall off. He's not trying to actually just attack the third base with a bunch of cannons in the pylon. And we already have the Zerglings streaming over, so he's probably not been able to do it in time. And yeah, let's find out what Lucky is going to do. He is apparently taking a very early third base as well, and he can't pull it off. The Overlord is getting into position at the second base of Avenge. So what is Avenge going to follow it up with?
I wonder what that probe is doing. There's a probe at the top of the middle of the map. And I wonder if he's going to put some kind of proxy tech there or something like that. Probe seems like it's there for a reason, although maybe Avenge just forgot about it. It might be there actually to sneak in a scout later on as well. And he does see that gateway there. Not too much, not too surprising, I guess, but... And then you see the Queen making the slow, arduous crawl all the way across the map to that third base.
Yeah, we have the third base now being built for Lucky, so nothing unusual. The most important thing to watch now is how or what exactly will Avenge follow this up with. What exactly is he going to do? Obviously, we have Lucky now droning up. The probe that you mentioned is scouting once again, trying to have a quick look if there's actually another base coming up before Lucky. That is exactly what's happening. Yeah, more and more drones are being built right now. That one single probe is not going to survive. But yeah, let's see what ZeNEX Avenge is following this up, and if Lucky is going to be prepared for it.
Yeah, very, very important to go ahead and scout that third base, the third hatchery going up, because when the when the Protoss fast expands like this, then the Zerg either has to A, make some kind of an attack in order to punish them for it, or B, get a third base in order to stay even with them. And so by scouting that third, it's an assurance that there's not an attack coming, because if there was no third, he would have to be worried and get some more defenses.
In my opinion, attack on this map would be suiciding, because the gap is just so small. You can easily defend it with a couple of cannons. 2 cannons should be enough, and the force fields, of course, that are supplied by the sentries. Usually on this map, if you would have tried to attack, you might want to do some kind of Nidus play. We've seen that in the past, but it is just so hard to pull it off. You have to, for example, try to get into just to go forward Nidus with a Hydralisk. That's a push you can certainly try to do. That's very, very good against an early expansion of a Protoss play if you time it perfectly. But well, for now we have Lucky just with the usual response, going for the third base.
Yeah.
And there are the gateways by ZeNEX Avenge, and already being scouted by Lucky's Overlord. Very nice scouting pattern.
Yep, going in right at the time that those gateways would be going up, just to make sure that there are gateways going up and not something like 2 Stargates or something crazy. And yeah, I'm not surprised at all to see Lucky going for this. He definitely loves to be in a macro situation. He loves to play those macro games. He feels much more comfortable there. So not surprising at all to see him go for that third base and just start getting his drones up while he techs a little bit as well, getting that lair. Lair's about to complete, actually.
He gets a lot of drones right now. We have Hallucination being researched for Avenge. That's just his choice in order to get some scouting information. He doesn't build an observer just yet. He's focusing a little bit more on his units, which is right now the second Immortal. So he skips the observer. Instead, he researches Hallucination and will be able to send Hallucinated Phoenix out to scout what FXO Lucky is up to. And Lucky is now building a bunch of roaches while he's getting a Burrow. He's getting speed for the Zerglings now. Not too many roaches though, it's like 7.
Here's the Overseer running into the main, and he's setting those sentries up to try and deal with the Overseer. Is the Overseer going to spot the Immortals? He does see both of the Immortals, so he actually knows those Immortals are there, and that is going to change things a little bit, because he's going to know, hey, he's getting a lot of Mortals against my roaches, and he scouted everything and didn't see a robotic support bay, actually, so he knows there's no Colossus right now.
We have the Warp Prism being built, and it's really kind of interesting to see that Lucky, for example, he did not take the gas at his third base just yet. So he is playing with a build where he's focusing on a lot of ground units right now. There is no huge tech coming up for him. He didn't get a Spire just yet. He's focusing entirely on the units that he has on Tier 1 as well, including the upgrades like Burrow, like speed for the Roaches now. And he is definitely prepared for whatever his opponent is going to throw at him. In regards to the target supply, a 66 to 45, so a nice 20 supply lead in workers. And, oh sorry, in army supply, that is, the worker count is slightly in favor of Lucky, but not by 20. Just
this is really interesting. He's keeping his 2 Immortals in that Warp Prism. And that's partly to kind of hide, I'm not sure, I guess it's kind of to hide them. Also, so you can position them as in the best possible spot to do the most damage to the Roaches. It's really cute though, because sometimes the Zerg will just want to focus down the Roaches and kill them off as quickly as possible. And having that Warp Prism there means he can control them, so he can stay safe and do the most damage to the Roaches as possible.
He needs to make sure that he's in a position to fight. It's not going to be all that easy, and the Warp Prism is put to good use. He's warping additional units. I actually like that. Like it a lot. We have 122 supply now. He's moving down, and the first force fields on accomplishing anything. He needs to bide a little bit more time. Now streaming in, baiting more force fields as we speak. Guardian shields down from all units. We have all sides. We have a couple of units streaming in now for Lucky. Is it gonna be enough to take down and vanish? Here come more and more Roaches. He's building 10 additional ones, even pulling his drones. And Immortal is still going strong. At least one of them with 5 kills, but he has to retreat. Most of the army of Lucky is already gone. Might lose this third. He's building 20 additional Roaches now, but most of the energy for the sentries is gone.
Beautifully done, even though he was completely surrounded by units on all sides. he used those force fields perfectly and was able to stop the units from really doing as much damage as they could. He focused on one Immortal, but that second Immortal was just doing so much damage in the back. He takes out the third base, and now Avenge actually looks to be in good shape.
Yes, a 41 worker supply against 51 in favor of the Protoss player. Here come the Roaches, and now they're in a position to finally attack. The Immortal is gone. Will it be enough though? We have Lucky dropping in supply now, Zergling streaming in from behind, 20, 30 additional ones now just finishing, going in for the kill, but now another round of Zealots join the party, and they already have +1, 2 hitting the Zerglings, and it looks like Lucky has found his match. ZeNEX Avenge with a decent lead in supply is now heading towards the second base and trying to take down the last remaining forces of FXOpen.
Wow.
Player.
It appears that they might have finally found Lucky's Achilles heel, because Avenge is in his natural expansion, starting to polish off his hatcheries. There's just a handful of Roaches, a few more hatch out. This is the last stand for Lucky. If he doesn't kill this army right now, he will lose the game for sure. Another round of Warpins coming in from behind. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. The drones have been pulled, and that is definitely going to seal the deal. Lucky has lost so many drones in these battles that he has no economy left to build any more units. A little bit of a dance going on. GG! And ZeNEX Avenge finally stops the all-kill attempt by Lucky. And wow, you know, this is the guy that took out Idra a couple weeks ago. Maybe Avenge has a lot better Protoss versus Zerg than we thought he did.
Yeah, very well done by Avenge. I have to say that this was really a nice display, nice attack, and wow, he certainly relieved Disney. He was kind of afraid that Lucky would just kill him as well and then have a 4-0 lead. So yeah, very well played by Avenge, and FXO is not going to all kill ZeNEX after all. Lucky not able to take down Avenge. Good shot of Oz. He won't be the next player, that's for sure.
No, probably not. Do not want to send in a PvP here. Yeah, so very, very strong play by Avenge. I was actually really surprised. I must admit that I kind of underestimated Avenge. You know, he's been kind of middling in the past. I've heard from other players that they, beat him on the ladder a lot a few months ago and that kind of thing. But it seems like he's picked up his game a lot, because he's actually played really, really well that game.
I'm really excited to see who is going to be the next player for FXO, though. That's going to be quite interesting. Cloud Kingdom is going to be the next map. That's going to be the 5th map in this clan war.
I think they're probably, the way he's been playing versus Zerg, I don't think you want to send in one of your Zergs right now. I mean, Leenock they're saving for the last anyway, probably. I would bet it's going to be either ASD or Gumiho. They're probably going to send a Terran in this situation, because again, you don't want to deal with that volatile PvP. So, yeah. I'm pretty certain it's going to be either ASD or Gumiho, probably Gumiho.
Cloud Kingdom, definitely a good map for Protoss versus Terran, and well, we're still waiting for both players to join the lobby, so let's just wait what FXO is going to do right now.
Yep.
And it's just so hard for them to pick a player. They have so many good players to their hand, so who are they going to send out? They might just decide to give one of the kind of lesser known players a chance.
That's true. They have a 3-1 lead. They can afford to give someone else some experience that isn't seen as much. So we might see a relatively unknown player or one of their lesser known players come out here. We're going to go to the bench of FXO in just a moment. We're going to check out who they're going to send out next. And it is going to be... Shoya is giving a high five to Oz.
Really? Oz? A PvP?
Wow. Okay.
That I would never have expected them to send out Oz now.
Interesting.
I like it. It's cool. I like to see him play again, and I like to guess his games. But I would never, my whole life, would have bet money on FXO deciding to go into a PvP.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange, but I mean, when you're up 3-1, you can kind of do whatever you want. You can take a couple of risks here and there. So, not necessarily a horrible decision. Oz is code S.
well, whoever they pick, it's not going to be horrible. I still would have thought that they would try to bite them out.
Well, here's the other thing, though, is Oz is actually really good at PvP.
Yeah, he is.
So, even though it's a strange matchup, where your opponent can sometimes win just based on kind of build order or a bit of a fluke just by a guessing game, there is some skill to it, obviously, still. It's a skill that Oz definitely has a lot of. I mean, you know, he beat Inca in Code S last season. I mean, a few seasons. No, last season, yeah. I'm sorry, this season. Wait, I'm trying to figure out which season it is.
The matchup against Protoss is actually his best matchup, so it's kind of nice. But with all the players that we have in the lineup still, I thought that it would try to put in a tournament player. But yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. I like casting Oz's game. He's such a nice person. He always steps by at the GOM house.
Yeah, he's really cool.
And yeah, he's just he's a really, really good guy.
He's a cheerful guy, but he has his game face on now, ladies and gentlemen. He is getting himself psyched out, pumped up for this game.
And it's kind of funny. I talked to him a little bit about if he doesn't want to try streaming his own games, if he wants to set up a first-person stream. And he told me that he thinks he's too bad, that he wants to set up a first-person stream, but first of all, he wants to win Code S. And only after winning Code S, when he thinks he's good enough to actually show people his game, does he want to stream his games.
Sets high standards for himself, that's for sure.
Yeah, he certainly does. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you can certainly add him on Twitter as well and just tell him that he should start to stream his matches on ladder a little bit earlier. His Twitter is @FXOZ, so FXOZ, @FXOZ.
Yeah, he was in the picture that I tweeted earlier, actually. So you can check that out too. We're going to get started with this game, though. Can Oz take out Avenge, or will Avenge bring his team into a 2-3 and try and bring him back? Find out right now.